Hey folks, welcome back to California Central Valley. So, in the last episode, we were getting set up to go cultivate down on field 17, plant some grass in there, and make some hay. So, let's go get started on that. So, first off, we need to get all of these tractors set up on Follow Me. So, we can go all the way back across the map and get to work on this big field down there. So yeah, let's get right into it. Pretty excited to use these Great Plains seeders. They're one of my favorite mods from FS19, and I found them the other day they were on Facebook, on LBJ Modding's Facebook page. And they are pretty awesome seeders. So, let's head that way and hope the little minions behind us can keep up. Seem to be off to kind of a slow start, so it's probably going to be just as long of a trip back over to the field as it was coming down here. So in the comments on this video, let me know whether or not you want me to keep these JCB tractors. If you want me to get American looking tractors, or if you want me to keep these. For most of the road work, we will be using semis. So if I have to haul hay or silage all the way across the map, I will be using semis to do that. I won't be using tractors. And probably for hauling the slower equipment like the harvester, instead of just driving it across the map, I probably will get a lowboy and haul it. So let me know. Do you want me to get some, John Deere or Case or New Hollands tractors in here, or Massey's? Let me know what you want, and I will see what I can do about making that happen. So anyways, get this field planted and we'll go from there. We'll probably speed up time and hopefully be able to get some grass grown this episode. I'm not 100% sure on that, but see how we go on. Good lord, they're a long ways back there. Alrighty, well, they are going to have to catch up because I don't feel like driving each individual tractor all the way back. That sounds like a whole lot of nonsense that I don't particularly want to have to deal with. So, how do you guys like the map? Is it a good map in your guys' opinion, or is it too drab? Let me know. Again, let me know in the comments, and I'll see what the overriding majority is. Personally, I think it's a pretty cool map. It really does do a pretty good job of showing what this part of California looks like. You got a massive dairy over there, the open side silage pit or silage pile. That's a pretty typical site. And I believe there's another silage or another dairy set up similar to that, not that far away either. If you look at the map, I believe the other one, yeah, there's a feedlot over there below field 1. We're just going to let this harvester go by real quick. Good old Kloss harvester. So are y'all excited for the Kloss DLC, or is it meh? Is it like the John Deere DLC? It's just more equipment that you can get through mods, or is it something that y'all are interested in? Is it potentially going to bring a new aspect to the game? Personally, I think it's pretty cool. Kloss has been a very highly asked for and highly anticipated brand, I guess you could say, in the game. There's been a lot of talk on forums and whatnot of people wanting Kloss equipment and wanting to be able to drive the new Kloss harvesters, and so I'm pretty excited about it. I'm probably going to end up getting it. I'm not sure that I'm going to pre-order it, but I'm going to probably get it. It does come out in not too terribly long, if I remember right. I don't usually go for the DLCs. I did get the Anderson DLC just because it was pretty unique. It introduced a new way to make silage bales and a ton of new equipment that wasn't really even modded in equipment. You know, you can get Kloss forage harvesters and combines, but I didn't see any mods that would make silage bale rows like the Anderson DLC will. There was no baler for baling poplars. There's one now in the game. There was a whole lot of new ideas, new concepts, a better way to haul round bales if you don't want a cheaty auto load trailer, flatbed trailer. You can haul round bales with a round bale stacker, auto stacker that picks up I think it picks up 20 at a time. Might pick up 15 at a time. But either way, it picks up a ton of bales at a time. And it doesn't stack them vertical. It just dumps them out on the ground in a pyramid, which is kind of how we stack round bales over here. We stack them in pyramids to help with watershed and, ease of access for the loader. You can have a loader go and pick up 3 bales at a time instead of picking them up 1 at a time or 2 at a time. And dang it, this is not the road I was hoping it was. But yeah, are you guys excited for the Kloss DLC? Or is there a specific mod that you're excited about? Personally, the one mod that I'm pretty excited about. That's gonna be a pain because that's gonna mess up. Follow me. Pretty excited about is there's a set of swathers, which are American mowers, an American style mower. Well, dang it, they all got lost. American style mowers that are self-propelled mowers, the single mower attachment in front. And there's a set of them coming from custom modding. I'm not entirely sure when they're coming out. There's no release date yet. They're still in development. They're still trying to get them to work because they drive like a like a zero-turn lawnmower. The front wheels do all the steering. The back wheels don't have any power to them. They just freewheel, and so as a result, they're really hard to actually code in and make work right. So that's what I'm excited for. I'm constantly checking up on that mod. They're making pretty good progress. They can drive them now. They're a little sketchy driving, but they can drive them, and they cut. But some of the textures and whatnot aren't quite where they want them, as far as I understand. So hopefully, whenever that mod comes out, I will be getting it and implementing it in this playthrough. Now, I do have a New Holland swather that's the same idea. It's a self-propelled mower, and it does work really well. It's pretty well made, but the header is absolutely tiny. The mower attachment is tiny. It's only like 4 meters, 3 meters wide, and so on these massive fields, I would have to run like 6 of them in order to make it work, and they're super expensive, and it's not economically feasible to actually use those swathers. They're a little bit more expensive than they should be. Actually, I think I have them active. Yes, it's 110,000 just for the tractor part of it, and they're cool. They're really cool. So the mower goes on right in here, and then these tires here, they're on crazy wheels, so they just trail along behind the swather, kind of do their own thing. And then the mower attachment is right here. So that just goes on the front, and as you can see, doesn't say how wide it is, but if I remember right, it's either 3 or 4 meters wide. It's not very big. It looks really good though. It's really well made, and I might get a couple of them once we get a couple of harvests in. But for now, I think we're probably going to be running small tractors with this mower. So at 9 meter, that seems a little excessive. That doesn't seem right. That's probably actually a 4 meter mower. Because yeah, these are 4 meter, and it's just a little bit wider than these. So it's probably right at between 4 and 5. It's probably about 4.5 meters wide. Holy cow, that train's still going. As far as the rakes go, I mentioned in the last episode that I had a set of rakes that I was probably going to be using. That is these rakes, the Schinkel rakes. These are honestly really well done rakes. They are an Australian rake, to the best of my knowledge, and they work really, really well. And then I mentioned that I was going to be getting some Ford tractors for tedding. That's these ones. Little 2-wheel drive, 100 horse. You can bump them up to 125 horse, which is more than enough to ted. So I will be... Where the heck did all those guys go? What are you stuck on? I'm confused. They'll be more than... Those little tractors will be more than enough to ted hay. And they're really cool little tractors. They're really well made. So I'll be going with them. If I do replace these JCBs, which if I replace these two, I will replace those two. If I replace them, then I will be going with, for the smaller ones, I will be going with probably either the Massey Ferguson 7700s or the Case 7200 series tractors. And then for the bigger ones, I will be going with the, where are they? Either the John Deere 8Rs, the Magnum Small Series, or the T8 New Hollands. Well, anyways, the train's gone, so let's get over to the field and get her done. Get some grass put in the ground and hopefully get it grown this episode. Hopefully those guys don't get stuck in traffic crossing that road. Of course. Alright, I will bring all those guys over here because apparently they're incapable of driving. So Control F and let's go across the road. That field doesn't look too terribly large on the mini-map, but it's a chunk. It's a pretty decent sized field. So it's gonna take a fair minute to get this thing cultivated in and planted back in grass. These aren't the largest pieces of equipment that I could have gotten, but in order to get something much bigger than this, I would have had to get a bigger tractor or several bigger tractors. And that's just more money than, honestly, than we have right now. We've only got 277,000, so that's not a whole lot of money to play with. So as far as seed goes, I am going to, look at that parking job. Nice. I am going to go over here in this lot, probably over here somewhere, plop down a couple of seed refill point and a fertilizer refill point, and probably a fuel station. Fertilizer station. This is, oops, hang on. Go Control G and turn on place anywhere. Otherwise, that's going to be a pain. Not going to be able to actually place it up next to the fence. Fertilizer station. What way is the pipe? Let's get this spun around. And boom. Then I don't want the seed station too close to the fertilizer station because it makes it really hard to get both to refill. So if you got fertilizer and seed, there's something wrong in the game that it just doesn't like. Do I not have liquid fertilizer stations? Oh boy. Um, yeah, it would appear that I forgot to activate that. So I guess I'm going to have to put this one in. I'm going to put it over here by the shop. It does create a footprint, which I don't, it'll be fine having a footprint there. So now we have seed and fertilizer, and we have liquid fertilizer for when we get a spray rig. We can get to work with that. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one tractor, I'm going to start it on a hired worker on this side of the field, and I'm going to go to the opposite side of the field. I need to turn off crop destruction. I'm going to go to the other side of the field and I'm going to set that to fast. Start using GPS and work my way back towards this one and hopefully meet in the middle. We'll see how we get on with that. See how the hired worker wants to behave today. I don't think I've actually used this cultivator in FS19 yet, so this will be new. So it would appear that the hired worker does want to work today. What is that? Just weeds, maybe? Anyways. That is an interesting cultivated texture. I kind of like that. It's different. Alrighty, well, let's go. I'm going to make a pass on my way to the other side of the field. I'm going to make a pass across the top. And actually, I might make a couple of them. That way the hired worker doesn't get as confused. He's going to get confused, I'm sure, by the power poles and the water bubbler here. But hopefully he won't get quite as confused if I make a pass or two across the top. But yeah, this field is absolutely huge. It doesn't look it, but it's definitely no joke. Actually, before I take off, I need to put down a vehicle workshop because I don't have GPS. Which seems ironic. Pretty much all new tractors have GPS as pretty much, bog standard, but some of them still don't have it. So I'm going to go up here even with the gate and then go slap some GPS on this tractor. And I might change the tire configuration on it, see if I can't put duals on the back. Just to make it a little bit more, American looking. I know these tractors don't usually have duals on them, but we'll see what we can do. So I've got Trelleborgs. Nope, it would appear I cannot put duals on it, so it's going to stay with Michelin's. And it's going to get a GPS. $15,000 to put GPS on it. Holy cow. I guess that's pretty realistic though. Putting GPS on a tractor is not cheap. Because you got, it doesn't show it, but there's a satellite bubble on top of the cab that you got to buy, and then there's a monitor in the cab if the in-cab monitor isn't set up for GPS already. And there's a monitor inside the cab that's pretty expensive. And there's just a lot to go into it. So let's let this get unfolded, then we'll set the auto width, show lines. Oh, excuse me. Auto width, clear the the offset. Set this down to 16 meters. And set A. Then hop out of here. Now set B. Go back, and now we have GPS. So, let's get into it. Got a lot of cultivating to go. Looks like there's a little bit of a visual glitch going on with the interior on this tractor, which is kind of odd because it's a in-game tractor. My mirrors aren't doing it though, so I don't think it's a graphics issue. When I start having issues with my graphics, I'll notice that my mirrors will start flickering before pretty much anything else does. Occasionally I'll have like lighting issues where the lights don't always show up. So if we look, it looks like all of the lights are showing up. Can't really tell because it's daylight, but we'll check that out if it gets down to nighttime. So, we are not going to get much done on this field today, I don't believe. So we're already pushing the heck out of the 30-minute mark. So, did he just get stuck on one of the cedar tractors? Oh, that's typical. No. Dang you. Alright. Apparently he wants a massive area to turn around in. So I will maybe move those. Might not have to because after this pass he should be pretty well through past them. It looks like I'm going to have to make more than 2 passes across the top. So let's let him go. Oh, you know why that was all screwed up? Because I modified this tractor so it kicked it to the end of the vehicle list. Because it's the new vehicle now, so it got modified. Just trying to figure out why when I tabbed from this one it didn't go directly to the other big JCB. Because when I started the game they were right next to each other. They were in the tab list, they were both of the big JCBs and then both of the little JCBs. And that's scary. Don't like that. Have to keep that in mind. I might put fencing down or something like that to keep hired workers from wandering off the road to nowhere. Now those trees there are not something that you would see. The shrubby trees like over here, you would see them all over the place in California, but not those big tall pine trees. Those, you would see those up closer to the mountains in California, but not down in the Central Valley. Now, you would see a lot of palm trees. That's highly prevalent. Palm trees are everywhere in Central Valley. And as you can tell, the map maker here kind of took that seriously and put a bunch of palm trees everywhere. And I like that they're not all the same height. Most of them are, the real tall ones, but he's got some shorter ones here and there, and they're not all at the same angle. Palm trees are they're not universal trees. They don't all grow the same. They don't look the same. They don't grow the same. They grow at all kinds of awkward, weird angles. And so it's kind of cool that he actually took that into account and made them all slightly different. Or as far as I can tell, they're slightly different. So, I don't recognize the hay brand. I wonder if it's just a made-up hay brand or if it's an actual hay brokerage in Bakersfield. I worked for a hay hauling company, or a hay broker, over in that area in Central Valley. And so I went to a lot of the dairies hauling hay, and actually went to a couple of different hay brokers to take them hay. And so I got a pretty good idea of who's who, I guess you could say, in the Central Valley. It doesn't look like that bale has sold. Might have to go over there and kick it around a little bit with the telehandler and see if I can't get it to sell. If I can't get that to sell, then I am going to have to come up with something to sell bales. So before this episode ends, I will go do that. Might actually go do that right now because I have a minute and a half left. So let's go sell a bale. Because it's in the marked out sell point. So, oops, that's the wrong way to come at that bale. Alright, hang on. Now, I know this looks horrible, but this is supposed to show tip triggers. And I'm not seeing a tip trigger. Oh wait, no. So there should be a big wireframe box right here. I don't know. I'm not seeing it. Let's try this again. Problem. Is it this one that's marked out with the light poles? No. Hmm. I don't know. I'm gonna have to do a little bit of research to see if I can't get the tip trigger to work, or potentially put in a new tip trigger. Try and get these bales sold. Glad I noticed that. That would have been really awkward. Bring a big full semi load of bales down here and not have anywhere to take them. I probably will stockpile quite a bit. You know, if hay prices are really low, then I'll take advantage of the fact that I have a huge yard here. Yeah, I'll take advantage of the fact that I have a huge hay yard. I might not stack in between these fake stacks, but I'm not going to use any auto stacker. Like, I won't use, if I'm stacking the hay here, I'm not going to just back the auto stacker in there and stack the hay up. I'll actually use the telehandler or a loader. That's awkward. Shows the door open here. The door's closed there. It's a little bit awkward. But no, I won't use the auto stacker to stack hay. I will actually. I've got a bale grab that works really, really well for telehandlers. No, it's not that one. It's in front loaders. Yeah, this one works really good. You can have it set for front loader, telehandler, or wheel loader. So if I ever get to the point where I want to buy a wheel loader, I'll be probably getting this guy, which is actually not that expensive. And I'll be probably buying it in that configuration right there and using that to stack hay and load hay. I wish it had these tires on it, but it is what it is. Well, anyways, folks, that is going to be it for today's episode. I hope you enjoy, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one.